Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today we're going to be breaking down a 3200 MMR match, RM Paladin versus RM Paladin, alright? Last time we did the RM Premier, we had the Priest on one side. I want to show you guys how the matchup is a little bit different with that Paladin. But first, I want to say thank you to Whoop for sponsoring today's video. Guys, if you don't know what Whoop is, it is the wristband I'm wearing around my wrist, alright? It tracks my sleep, my heart rate variability, my strain, physical strain, but also mental strain. If I'm feeling a little stressed out, the app will track that. So there's an app on my phone right here, has my recovery, my HRV, my strain, my calories burned for the day, my sleep, when I went to bed, when I woke up. It tracks all of that automatically, all within the app. If you guys want to learn more, we have a 15% off coupon down below in the description. Definitely be sure to check them out. And I got 8 hours and 12 minutes of sleep last night. The other times I've done these videos, it was over 9, all right? So that's good. That's solid. We got the 8 hours, all right? I was a little embarrassed with I think one time I did a video, it was like 9 hours and 30 minutes. I'm like, oh man, that's embarrassing. But hey, 8 hours, is that a lot? How much sleep do you guys get? Leave down below in the comments how much sleep you guys get on average per night. I don't know, I'm like 8. I like to 8.5 feels real nice for me. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get on into this video. Here we are, Blade's Edge Arena, RM Pal versus RM Pal. All right. So first I'm going to start with talent selection. All right, take it a little bit slower. Talent selection. I like Dampen Magic. Actually, a lot of questions about Dampen Magic. Hey, Zar, why are you playing Dampen Magic? The reason I like Dampen, guys, is because it works on Mage Ignite. It works on gushing wounds from the rogue, and almost every rogue plays full gushing. So if you are the target of choice, Dampen Magic definitely helps you survive. Now for this last spot, I used to play Greater Pyroblast, but I feel like more and more recently, the Greater Pyro just isn't really paying off in the matchup because of how quick and volatile the matchup is. Greater Pyroblast, 3.5 second cast. The matchup goes so quick that we don't really have the time to just sit there and cast a Greater. Even if it goes off, the matchup's too fast for that. So a lot of the times, instead of Greater, I'll either play Prismatic Cloak, and I'm right here in the game kind of making this choice right now. Prismatic Cloak. Usually I would play Firestarter if I'm not playing GPI, but once again, the matchup is a little too short for Firestarter. So there's a couple options here. You could play Tinder for extra, like a quick fireball. It would probably be okay. You could play Flame Cannon or Netherwind Armor to get a little bit tankier. In fact, Flame Cannon might be okay here. The problem is most of the time in this matchup, we're going rogues. Rogue is being killed on our team and we're killing the rogue, meaning the mage isn't really getting stunned and you don't get much value from Flame Cannon. Same thing with Netherwind Armor. If you're not really the target of choice, it doesn't really matter. So we kind of want an offensive talent here. A lot of high-rated mages play Klepto. If you want to play Klepto so you can instantly Spellsteal Combust or Freedom or Pally, what's it called? Aura Mastery, you can. I personally don't like playing Klepto in this matchup, and maybe I'm a little bit weird in saying that. So a lot of you guys watching, if you want to know what other top mages do, they play Klepto. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I personally just don't play Klepto because I like to spell steal a Freedom from the rogue, and I like to spell steal the aura from the Pally. If you're playing Klepto, you can only do one or the other, and that feels really like I'm pigeonholed. But hey, you know, you do you. If you want to play Klepto in that third spot, you can. I am playing Breath Major here, and then I'm playing Claw and Battlemaster. Battlemaster just in case I get swapped to, and you'll see that come in handy later here. So we'll see. And then the final option, and I think that's what I did here, is Controlled Burn, allowing my Ignite to deal damage a little bit quicker, allowing me to burst a little bit harder. Once again, for this last spot, I don't really know if it matters, right? Temp and Dampen are pretty much instant lock-ins. For that last spot, I think Tinder, Controlled Burn, Klepto, Flame Cannon, Netherwind Armor would all have their little pros, right? And cons, potentially. So it depends on if they go me, if they go my rogue, the positioning, kind of the pacing of the game, and all that kind of stuff, right? If we could see how the game would play out before playing it, I could probably pick the perfect talent in that situation. So the question is, which talent is going to pay off most of the time? And to really answer that, I don't know, right? I don't know exactly what that last best talent is. So anyway, game starting off Probably should have went invis here a little bit sooner. I was seeing if I could get combat. It ends up not mattering, but a better opener would have been staying back and then going invisible, and then you know, doing this little 2v2 situation. So it's Mage Pally versus Mage Pally right now, and we're both casting fireballs. We're both not opting to play Greater Pyroblast. A lot of people, I was watching the tournament the other day, and everyone's like, why aren't the mages playing G-Py? Everyone's wondering, why aren't the mages playing G-Py? Hey, Czar, why aren't they playing G-Py? Guys, G-Py is not really used when you're playing RM Paladin, at least a high rating, all right? It's been this way for a while, all right? G-Py is not a good ability when you're trying to do quick damage and quick goes. It's 3.5 second cast time that goes over by then, right? If you want to do quick damage, you got to throw out a Meteor, Claw, a couple Fire Blasts, and a Reaping. That's enough to kill someone. It's a lot of damage, and it's all instant cast. That's why G-Py is just a little too slow. Now, if you're playing with a Warlock, Mage Warlock, the game's a little bit slower. You stand in the open, you slow the game down with Fears, Polymorphs, Coil, Shadow Fear, then you can play G-Py. But RM Pal, guys, G-Py is not the play. Just had to get that one off my chest. There are a lot of people, why is there no G-Py? All right, anyways, game's open. Immediately, they're going on Born. I'm polyed. Actually, let me go back just a second. I'm getting polyed here. I could counterspell the mage, but then I don't have counterspell up for when it actually matters. So counterspelling here, I think, is a mistake. They haven't opened Born yet, so I think counterspelling is not a good idea. They kidney as the poly lands. So they actually are a nice opener from the enemy team. Now it is on my rogue, Pika, to actually peel this opener, because I can't, I mean, I could shrink at this, but sitting this opener is probably the play here. If he's going for a resheep immediately, I could shrink it, lock him, and then sheep. But if he's not going for the resheep, trinketing is probably a mistake. Pika is pretty pushed in, but he does get the step Garrote cheap shot onto the mage and the kidney onto the rogue, and I sheep the pally. So we get immediate triple CC from this opener, and my paladin survives. This is perfect for us. Absolutely perfect. We peel the opener, and we're getting that counter pressure immediately. And I landed that sheep because Peekaboo, such a good rogue, knows exactly how to peel for me, right? He stuns all 3 targets. Kidney, Garrote. Actually, the paladin wasn't stunned, but I just got the full poly off of thin air because the pally pushed in. Okay, so he double stops the DPS. I get the full sheep. Now we're bursting the rogue. Now on this burst, right, if I had G-Py, I could start casting it, but the mage would Dragon's Breath me and then counterspell me. He would never let me get this G-Py off. This is why G-Py is not good here. Instead, I can Meteor, Reaping, Fire Blast, and Claw and own this rogue in this kidney shot. Let's see what happens. Claw, Reaping, Fire Blast, and we immediately force the Trinket Cloak without a G-Py. Boom, okay? Without a G-Py. Now, Paladin's still sitting that sheep. We could go for the resheep, or we could let the DR reset. I actually remember what I did, and I think it was actually the incorrect play. I get Dragon's Breath into the sheep here. We get the blind onto the Paladin, trying to counterspell the polymorph on the mage. I'm spamming my CS2 button here. If you guys didn't know, I have counterspell 1, counterspell 2, counterspell 3. So right here, if I hit control 2, it'll silence the mage. If I hit control 1, it'll silence the pally. Control 3, it'll silence the rogue, right? Arena 1, 2, 3. So I'm trying to CS that polymorph and get more damage. So we CS the polymorph, and I think I opt to half sheep the paladin here. I think this is a mistake because the rogue has evasion and battlemaster up already. Rogue's probably not gonna die, and I sheep the paladin half after he got a heal or 2. I sheep the pally quarter. I use Meteor, half Dragon's Breath, bomb, and the rogue gets really low. So looking back, since we used the smoke bomb and we used the Meteor, the rogue had to vanish, so the half sheep actually worked out for us. I think overall, though, if we were to just chill for a second, wait for the sheep DR, it could have worked out too. Having watched that back, though, I think that sheep was fine, right? We got the vanish from it. Now the rogue has no trinket, cloak, vanish, evasion, battlemaster. Rogue has nothing. Rogue is pretty dead. The paladin, however, still has bubble sack, I believe, and he's playing relentless, so we have to keep that in mind as well. I still have combustion, though I haven't used it yet, and he has no cloak. Rogue has no cloak of shadows. I'm tracking that here on my omnibar. So I am ready to pop the combust on the rogue next go and take him out. Alternatively, I could have popped combust in the open, but we got trinket cloak anyway because I use claw. So I like to use claw in one go, force cooldowns, and combust on another go when they have no cooldowns. You could have done this inverse as well, open with the combust, got the defensives, and then used the Claw after that. All right, so I just used to use Claw and then Combust later. Starting this game once again, we tried to fake the Mage CS, and we actually do get counterspelled. So let me go back in time just a sec. So we want to go Rogue. Rogue vanishes, right? 13 seconds on Poly DR in the Pally, so we're chilling. We're chilling for about 13 seconds. I'm going to try to sheath the Mage here. I tried to fake that, but we do get counterspelled. So nicely played by the Mage, owning me on that CS. Rogue's out over here, so I need to start doing damage to that Rogue, getting on over to him. In the meantime, I want to control the Mage as well. So I Nova, and I'm trying to go for a Nova Ring of Frost. Mage blinks it, really well played by the Mage, and it looks like I'm going to get polyed again here. It's actually not me, it's Born that's getting polyed. It's just a little scary time. They got their CC out. A little sketchy. Kidney Shot comes out on the Rogue. We have no CC on the Pally quite yet, so this Kidney Shot might be a mistake from my Rogue. At the same time, though, using kidneys on cooldown kind of keeps my Rogue alive. So it's a little unfortunate that we don't have that polymorph lined up with the kidney, but using that kidney keeps my Rogue alive. It keeps the pressure in our favor, so it's not necessarily a misplay here. We continue to play. Now my Rogue's Pika is so smart. Born's in a poly. Look where my Rogue goes. It's the star marker. The star marker's peekaboo. Look at him. Look at him. Downstairs. The kidney's gonna end on max. Pika's downstairs. Look at him. He's under the bridge. Actually, you can see him right there. You can see him right there through the crack in the ground. All right. He is downstairs pre-kiting this go. They want to go, right? My Pally's in a full sheep off that full blind. And now they end up going me because my Rogue is pre-kiting so well. So that was just hats off to Peekaboo, because Peekaboo, that's scary time for him when my Pally is full sheeped, right? Now the Rogue steps to me, shadow steps to me. I know they want to go me, right? Because he wouldn't use Shadow Step if he didn't want to actually go me. My Rogue is kiting. I'm the one vulnerable. I don't have Trinket. This is sketchy. I know this is happening. I see it happening, right? Polymorph being casted. I could have maybe stopped that repoly, but I get kidneyed at the same time. But I pre-temp the kidney. All right, so right here, I can see, I know he's going to get dispelled. Pre-temp, immediate pre-temp on the kidney. Does get purged, but hey, you spent a global on purge instead of damage. Kidney comes out. Born gets hodged. Bit more damage, but I use Blazing Barrier, and I use Battle Master as well. So I pre-temp Kidney and Battle Master, so I don't actually have to use anything else, I think, because my Pally's out of CC with Wings, so I should be A-okay. In this go, my Rogue comes back in, because once the Kidney is committed on me, Pika can run back in. So I'm rewinding here. I'm kidneyed. Look at Peekaboo. Peekaboo comes back into the fight now that I'm kidneyed, because hey, if there's no kidney, Pika's going to be just fine. The CC's over on my Pally. Now it is time for Pika to peel. Damage comes out onto the peels come out of the Mage. Damage coming back out onto the Rogue. Sack comes out, and I'm sheeping the Rogue. Now this is probably one of the most important things to take away from this video. Other than the fact that GPI isn't played. That's the number one thing. This is the number two thing. I sheeped the Rogue, friends. I sheeped the Rogue. We're killing the Rogue, but sacrifice is up for 7 more seconds. There's no reason to try to kill the Rogue here. I'll just sheep the Rogue, wait 7 seconds, and then kill him after, right? To keep the Rogue still is better to stop damage, to make sure he doesn't pre-kite like my Rogue did, and we're not going to kill him anyway. The sacrifice is 100% less damage. So we just sheep him, keep him in place, and then we'll sheep the Mage, then we'll sheep the Pally, and then we'll close out this game with Combustion. Probably. I actually don't remember the exact ending, but I try to sheep the Mage. I get counterspelled. Damage is coming out onto the Rogue now. If we can just get one nice clean go, trying to get that full sheep. Kidney Shot goes out and it gets bopped. So we did the kidney on the Rogue. It got bopped out. Little sketchy here. Once again, if we waited for the Poly and then kidneyed, it might have been cleaner, but like I said before, Pika can't just keep waiting for me to get a sheep. The matchup, we would lose if we played that defensive. We lock out the Pally full and then pop Combustion. All right, so we lock out Pally, pop Combust, no cloak. Rogue's half HP, claws going, ticking him down. There's the blind out on the Pally. The bubble comes out, but there is no sack, remember. No cloak, no trinket, no sack, no evasion, no battle master, no nothing. This Rogue is real scared. I get polyed on my Combust, which is a little unfortunate, but hey, that happens. No counterspell available for it. I'm trying to get that full sheep onto the Paladin once again to end out the game. And once again, guys, I sheep the Rogue in between the go. They want to kill Pika. I just sheep the Rogue. I just sheep the Rogue. Even though we're trying to kill him, I sheep him because we're trying to stall out the game for this next go. Now that the kidney is expended, Pika's fine. We can break that polymorph, sheep the Mage, maybe swap the sheep to the Pally. So we DB sheep the Mage, and there's the Hammer of Justice onto the Pally. Trying to get that Ring of Frost. I get locked out into the DB. Well played by the Mage. The Mage actually peeled this go by blocking the Poly and then CSing and DBing me. That was incredibly played by Nick the Mage. And now I'm CC'd. If he didn't do that, the enemy team would have lost right there. We do get the Hammer of Justice into the Blinding Light. That's why Pally is just so good. Into a full Sheep onto the Pally. Rogue does have Cloak of Shadows, but he's 50% life. They're going on my Pally now, a little bit scary. I have that counterspell. Pika kicks the Polymorph. I kick the Ring of Frost. Resheep out on the Pally. Born's getting low, but it looks like he does have bubbles. So Born bubbles, pretty sketchy if we don't win soon. Mage has no block to peel his next go, though. Battlemaster from the Rogue's about to fade. Could go for a half Sheep. We fake the kick from the Mage. We get Dragon's Breath, though, as that pseudo interrupt does land. Polymorph coming out onto the Rogue. Once again, install the game. I love doing that. I love doing that. Stalling out the game with those Polymorphs. Ring of Frost down for the other two. I trinket a Frost Nova here. So this is actually a really interesting play, right? We get the double ring onto the Mage and the Pally, and I'm Nova'd. I can blink to the edge. This is really important I get damage here. We have 4 seconds to pump, so I actually opt to trinket the Frost Nova. Come down, Claw. We force out Cloak and Evasion, but that Resheep comes down into the Quarter Sheep. Meteor lands, Dragon's Breath, blink Dragon's Breath onto the Pally. Huge damage onto the Rogue. We spell steal lock the Pally on the Aura fast. All right, lots of things happening right here. We sheep the Mage off of DR. I do get stunned, interrupted here. Little unfortunate. The Rogue is still so low, though. Hammer Justice comes out, and we kill the Rogues. This was actually a really cool ending. We trinketed a Frost Nova to secure the kill. Normally, trinketing a Frost Nova is not the play, but in this situation, that trinket actually won us the game. All right, so lots of things to learn from this. One, G-Pine when you're playing RM Pal is just too slow. You would never get value out of it. 2, you can sheep the Rogue in between the goes to keep them where you want them. And 3, when it comes to securing or landing a kill, trinketing even a Frost Nova can be worth it if the situation is correct. Boom! That's the RM Pal matchup, guys. Such a fun one. Man, that I don't know. I could just look at games and play games like this over and over and over again. There it is, guys. Close to 3,200 MMR. That's the damage breakdown, and that's the game. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, give the video a big thumbs up. If you did not enjoy the video, you can give it a thumbs down. That's okay. Guys, I want to say thank you again to Whoop, the sponsor of today's video. If you guys want to learn more about Whoop, once again, link is in the description down below. All right, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to do your dailies, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.